No matter how unmerciful life is to you, at least you can be able to say you fought for better days. Your life is too short to waste your time around people who don't appreciate your efforts. Self-doubt will kill more of your ambitions than a hater ever could. At least give yourself a chance to get haters. Being weak isn't just about losing or making mistakes. What makes you weak is when you give up on yourself. When you accept definite defeat, man, that's weak. Jack of all trades, master of none. I challenge you to pour your creative energy into one project this year and watch how it takes off. Everyone won't like you. Just because a person doesn't like you doesn't mean that there's necessarily anything wrong with you. Don't do that. If I would have started 10 years ago. Yeah, if you would have started 10 years ago, you'll have abs, you'll be rich, you had a love of your life, but you didn't. You know, don't look back. Stop looking back. Ain't nothing back there for you. All right? You got to accept where you at so you can move forward. You can look back and correct your mistakes, yes, but don't just harp on it. If only you could see how amazing you are, the light that others see in you, I'm sure that you wouldn't doubt yourself anymore. Keep hope alive. Your suffering is not in vain. A lot of times when we're giving something our all and we're working very hard, it can be very discouraging when you don't see the needle move in the direction you would like it to. When you don't see your bank account move in the way that you want it to and the bills keep stacking. When you can't lose the weight and it seems like you've been trying everything and you ain't lost a pound. You could be this close to losing a pound and then you give up and you're not going to see that pound. You know, you keep getting a heartbreak after heartbreak back to back and you just want the love of your life to come in and you feel like you're giving it your all, but don't give up, because if it's important to you, you have to persevere. I promise you, you will see better days. Take your power back and stop blaming people and conspiracies and statistics for where you are at in life. You don't want to be 80 years old talking about what somebody did to you. Those same people who couldn't see the light within you were never meant to see how great you were, because they could have been your ultimate demise. Everyone won't like you. Just because a person doesn't like you doesn't mean that there's necessarily anything wrong with you. I don't care if it was a family member, a friend, or an ex. That pain, that disappointment, that heartache, it was never meant to break you. It was meant to make you. If you keep wondering why you get in the same predicaments, the same situation, things keep happening, how do you respond? Respond differently so you can get some different spiritual lessons. Don't let anyone or any circumstance steal your joy today, because no matter who you are, you deserve peace and happiness. Sometimes life will knock you right on your tail, and ain't no one there in that moment to say, you okay, get up. Ain't no one there in that moment to say, it's going to be all right. Ain't no one there in that moment to tell you, look, we all been down there before. Get up, fight. And sometimes it's going to be financially, it's going to be spiritually, it's going to be in your love life with your family, with your kids. But you got to get up. You can't stay there and wait for somebody to walk by and say, let me help you get up. You got to get up. It's a sick world we live in. Some people get gratification for ruining your mood or your day. Don't give them that. If you have ever saved your life for someone else's, or started running fast and you don't know how, hopped over a fence, looked back, or just moved in the nick of time, it's because you have power within you. I think the key to being great is understanding how can we turn that power on. No matter how boring or tedious the self-improvement journey gets, you can't give up. You can't give up on yourself. You have to keep pushing through. You are more powerful than your mind would ever let you perceive. On a mental aspect, your thoughts hold power. Physically speaking, your body is able to endure more and do more than you ever could imagine. On a spiritual level, metaphorically speaking, astronomically speaking, you have so much greatness within you you're not even aware of. If only you knew. That's the sad part. A lot of you don't understand how powerful you are. You don't have to settle. When paired with the right training and placed in the correct arena, not only can you surprise those around you and leave them in awe, but you will literally take yourself aback and say, did I really just do that? Yeah, you did. And you did it all by yourself. It's possible. But you have to recognize your power, or it will just go into the abyss and it will be a waste. It will be like having a very powerful cord that is able to light up not only the room, not only the neighborhood, but the whole darn city. But don't leave it unplugged. Some people will take until you don't have anything else left to give. Then when you can't, they get mad at you. Don't let that be you in that situation. What happened to that boy? Don't let the people talk about you like that. If you fell off this week, your fitness, your business, get back on it. Today is a new day. This is a new week. Let's go. No matter how alone you feel, never give up, because spirit is right there with you. No matter how unheard, how misunderstood, how unsupported, how overlooked and underbooked you feel, remember that spirit is always on your side. Stop dreaming, start doing. Get some movement. You're not going to see no traction without no action. A lot of us are stagnant because it comes from a deep-rooted fear. Sometimes we're not even aware of. But let me tell you something. Those people that you admire that are great, when they first started, they didn't know what the hell they were doing. But they decided, I'm going to get there and I'm going to figure out how I'm going to get there along the way. You have to give yourself room for failure. You have to give yourself space to make mistakes, because when you make mistakes, you learn valuable lessons that will lead you to become the master of your craft. Whether it's weight loss, finances, health, love, whatever it is, you got to make some movement. Stop dreaming, start doing. If you want to become a phenomenal author, you don't have a book drafted. Hello. You want to lose weight, you need to study nutrition and what exercises you need to do. You want to become and find the love of your life, but you're not dating or doing self-work. Be for real with yourself right now. Even if each day you're just studying on what you need to do, that's better than nothing. Because the more you understand, the more confident you will become. The first time was a mistake. The second time, she knew what she was doing. The third time, it was my fault for trusting in her that she wouldn't do it again. No one is going to save you. You have to save yourself. No one's going to come do the workouts for you, do the exercises for you. Keep on making up excuses, and this time next year, you're going to be in the same situation with the same belly. Many of you are abolish the self-doubt. You can do it. Just meet with your higher self. Childlike energy, meaning you're hopeful. You know, when you were a child, before the world broke your heart and stumped on it or like crushed your dreams, you have this like ability to just really think, I can do anything, you know, or you just have this ability to just believe in yourself. You had a ability to believe that things will happen and you don't even know how. Like, I just know I'm going to get this bike for Christmas. I don't know if my mom has enough money or not, but when I wake up, it's going to be there. And then, you know, you might wake up and it might be there or it might not, but you were still hopeful and wistful until that day came. Even if you know, got a new scooter or got something, when you got it, you may have not known how to ride it, but you know, you were determined. You were like, okay, I done scraped up my knee, my elbow, but I'm about to get back out there. You know, like, I didn't chip my tooth, but I done been to the dentist and I'm about to get back on it. You didn't give up. You persevered and you pushed yourself. You will get through this thing just like you got through the last thing that you thought you couldn't get through, but you actually did. No matter how many people let you down, remember that doesn't mean you are not worth the effort. Do you deal with imposter syndrome on a day-to-day or even now and then when there's just a big goal you want to accomplish, but you feel like, I can't do it. I'm not smart enough. I'm not beautiful enough, or I'm not this enough. Like, you are enough and you just have to give yourself a chance. Sometimes when you're trying to elevate, things get real hard and you start looking back, wondering, should I go back? No, you shouldn't. Just because it's familiar doesn't mean it's the right thing for you. Are you trapping yourself in a mental prison? You know, it may seem harsh, but the reality is a lot of times things we accept or expect are based upon our experiences and our beliefs or what someone has projected onto us. So you really have to ask yourself, am I in a mental prison? Run away from people who don't celebrate when you win. You deserve to have people in your life who want to see you flourish. Are you ready for what you've been dreaming of, praying for? If it came today, are you ready for the sacrifices, the hard work, the responsibility? A lot of people are going to tell you you're crazy for chasing your dream. But then when your dream finally comes true, they're going to have respect for you and admiration for having the tenacity to chase. The moment that you decide you want to live a healthy life, a better life, a toxic-free life, the moment that you decide you want to stop drinking alcohol, stop smoking, stop having sex with miscellaneous people, you know, you want to stop getting your money in illegal ways, that's the moment you're going to be sent the most temptation. You're going to be seeing free alcohol drinks, buy one, get one free. People going to be like, look, let me smoke you out. People are going to be like, look, I'm cooking, it's my birthday, let's go all out, it's on me. People are going to tempt you. You know, it's going to be woes everywhere and dudes that you think are fine, knowing that they toxic, you're going to be tempted. If a person hurts you or is hurting you, stop studying, trying to understand them. Stop watching narcissism videos and clips. All you need to know is that they hurt you. You don't need to analyze them and try to fix them because you can't fix them. You're not their therapist and you're not God. Get away, run. Don't let a bad moment or not so great morning ruin your entire day. Just because someone is your family member, that doesn't give them the right to belittle you, abuse you, or to be passive aggressive. You can continue to gripe and complain about how hard your life is, or you can take action and try to change your circumstance. They ain't never support me. They ain't never helped me. They ain't show me what to do. Well, guess what? At least can't nobody ever throw nothing in your face. If it was all you, then can't nobody ever take that away from you. The next time you're stressed, I want you to remember that stress is meant to distract you from being great. That stress is meant to defer you from walking down your divine path. Please listen to your body. After you eat, did that food make you feel unwell? Are you routinely going to a place that causes your body to go into fight or flight mode? When you go around a certain person, do you feel more tense than usual? Do you feel like your stomach is in knots? Don't let anyone project their feelings of unworthiness upon you. Just because they didn't make it that far doesn't mean you can't. I'm deciding like when I wake up, like I'm about to be great. Like, you know, like I'm about to make some stuff happen towards my goals, whether it's fitness, financial, or even just my motherly goals. Like I'm gonna make the best of today. And I think it's important that you wake up with that attitude. Like decide how your day is gonna go. Like don't let the day decide for you. Seen another video, it said take the PS4 apart, blow in it. I did that and it worked. So now the PS4 is up and running and the Xbox controller is working. So both my kids can get peace of mind while I clean up. You are much more capable than you could ever perceive. Do not doubt yourself. There are no shortcuts in life. Just like when you don't match up your socks for the week and then every day you scrambling to find a pair. Woo! Did y'all see how fast that week went by? Make sure you're being intentional for this week. A part of being an adult is doing the things you know you need to do and not waiting until it gets so bad. Like, don't wait until your bank account is at zero to try to start saving or getting money. Don't wait until your car got like all kind of trash in it to start cleaning it up. Like, the sooner the better. Some of you have to learn how to take a compliment. I'm guilty of it. Somebody will be like, you look nice. And I was like, oh, it's actually too short. Or you're beautiful. And I'll turn around and say, you are too. Just learn how to embrace the compliment. Every guy that gives you a compliment isn't trying to date you. If you're watching this right now, that means you're truly one of the lucky ones. Because stop the self-deprecating humor. Stop talking about yourself in a negative light. There will always be an excuse as to why you can't work out. There will always be something you need to do. There will always be a family emergency or a friend emergency. So you can make excuses today or you can choose to make change. You could be on the precipice of greatness, but you're ready to quit because life has gotten tough, because life is lifing. No, you got to leave that lack mentality in last year. You got to leave that weak ass energy in last year. I'm going to need you to go beast mode. Today, I hope you are spending more time improving your own life instead of simply watching others improve theirs. Today is a brand new day, an opportunity for you to do one of those things you said you would do, but you just haven't got around to doing so. We are not giving up on our fitness goals this year in 2024. So if you fell off yesterday, luckily for you, today is a new day. So you can start again. Losing weight, building muscles, no excuses. I don't want to hear any excuses from anyone because excuses are... Stop expecting people to root for you who don't even root for themselves. They don't even believe in their own dreams. What makes you think they can believe in yours? Sometimes a person will act funny with you because they put you in a secret competition and you're winning. It could be your money, your love life, your family, your car, your job. Home is where our story begins. And that's so true because how can you be at peace if your house is in disarray? Everything is messy. If you're always arguing. Nobody owes you anything. It would be nice, but you came in here by yourself and when you leave, hopefully you don't decide to take nobody with you. Please abandon the coulda, woulda, shoulda beens. What's happening right now? How can you become a legend if you don't have discipline? If you can't control what goes into your mouth? You have respect for a man of his word. So why is it that some of you said you were going to exercise and eat healthy last week, but you didn't? And some of you didn't even try. You didn't even drive past the gym or the park, browse the fruit or vegetables. Have some self-respect in this next week. There will be at least one person who watches this who is always able to see the greatness in others but has yet to realize their own full potential. Sometimes it's better to leap into the unknown, the unfamiliar, the uncomfortable, than to stay stuck in the same miserable place that you have mastered already. You don't have to be lazy. Lazy is a state of being. It is not a permanent attribute to your personality. Please remember to stay focused and intentional this week. Right now, I started to record and my neighbors start playing their music. The tamale men start going by. Everybody can't run, so you better start jogging. And if you're saying you can't jog, then you better start walking. And if you're telling me you can't walk, then you better start crawling. Rome was not built in one day. Do not expect to get your dream body, your dream house, your dream love overnight. Stop expecting instant results. Today is a new dawn, so don't spend too much time soaking in yesterday's sorrow, or you might just miss the beauty that today has to offer. Don't let someone guilt trip you into doing something you don't want to do today. No one's life is perfect, even the ones you think that are. Solitude can be enlightening. Some of your best ideas will appear there. 9, you have to show up for yourself. What are you waiting for? Your whole life to pass you by? Will you be ready then? Can't be the only one who feel like they've been through hell and back and feel like they just not giving up. Feel like you owe it to yourself, like you gotta reach the other side of life. It gotta be more. I know it's hard, but you can't give up on yourself. I tried at least 50 times to lose weight before I finally lost over 100 pounds. I never said it was gonna be easy. I just said I met that didn't like anybody. I mean, they have something to say about their mama, their grandma, their auntie, their uncle, best friend, boyfriend. I noticed all of them have the same thing in common. They really don't like themselves. Like they pick themselves apart. Bed rotting is not a form of self-care, no matter how much you want to lie to yourself. Self-care is when you feed yourself mentally, physically, or spiritually. Your life. Be decisive or not allowing anyone or anything to break your spirit today. You deserve good cheer. Cheerio. Don't count yourself out. We already have enough people doing that. We don't need no one else to join the lineup. Something will happen to make us feel so uncomfortable that we need to move. You've been enough and you'll always be enough. And I apologize if anyone ever made you feel like you weren't enough. Get away from those people. Rain or shine, you guys better show up for yourself because nobody's coming to save you. Whether it rains, snows, or shine, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not giving up no time soon. So enthralled in the person that you stop doing your hobbies, you stop exercising, stop following your passions. You're not even the person they fell in love with anymore. Sometimes in life we'll see an opportunity and it'll be floating in our vicinity and we'll just keep watching it. Instead of grabbing it, we'll just let it float on by. Stop self-sabotaging. That's what you've been waiting on. Everyone won't understand your vision. Everyone isn't meant to see your vision. Imagine if you put carrot cake mix in front of somebody who never made a cake. Just because something didn't work for them doesn't mean it can't work for you. You deserve to win. You've been putting in all that hard work, and if you haven't, it's not too late to start. It's important to set intentions for the week, but make sure you don't overschedule. You're a human being, not a robot. The beautiful thing about life is that you can always rebrand. Unless you've done something that's unforgivable, for the most part, you don't have to be known as Kiki with the belly, or Grover hungover, or Connor the smoker. Don't let a little rain stop you. Y'all act like I'm asking y'all to go out and play NFL in the rain. Y'all gonna be inside at the gym. Now, why would you want to be around somebody who brings the worst out in you when you could be around someone who brings out the best in you, or at least the average you? Let's all remember to work smarter, not harder. If you can delegate a task, do that. If somebody's trying to help you, let them. No matter what happens today, remember to breathe. Mindful breathing has been proven to alleviate stress, so make time for breath work. Don't allow a person to plant seeds of doubt in your plan that's bulletproof. You've already went over something, even looked into laws, and then here this person comes talking about something, it ain't gonna work out. Tell them it. You are amazing, and if you don't feel amazing, you gotta ask yourself, why don't you? Because you deserve to. A healthy fear is what keeps you from running into traffic. An unhealthy fear is what stops you from giving a speech, looking for a better job, or shooting your shot. Don't let an unhealthy fear keep you from living your best life. Stop obsessing. I'm sure you'll be fine. Stop overthinking. Some of you are the only thing that's holding you back. Ain't nobody blackballing you. There's no one. Don't beat yourself up over a mistake. Learn from it and move on. Unless it was a heinous crime towards a child, then definitely beat yourself up. Don't let where you come from dictate where you're going. Stop with the limiting beliefs. All you can do is strive to be a better you each and every day. And if that's not enough for them, then tell them au revoir. You look a hot ass mess. No, but seriously, don't let anything someone says about you bother you, especially if you know it's not true. Most people that are overnight successes actually aren't. They put in hours, months, if not years of work. So many distractions that keep you from being your optimal self. As soon as you start exercising or meditating or working or brainstorming, there's a phone call, an email, a message, a TV show, something. Stay focused today. How some of you take better care of your car than your body. You put premium gas and oil in your car, but you eat whatever and put poisons in your body. It's important to find ways to de-stress, since chronic stress can literally break down your immune system If a person doesn't treasure your presence, then darling, simply gift them with their absence. Know thyself so that another person's perspective of you doesn't define who you are, because a perspective can easily be misconstrued or even change over time. Stop making your life goals optional. Make them mandatory. Making them optional leaves room for procrastination. Before you say you're not good at something, make sure you really give yourself a chance. I used to always say I wasn't any good at math until I went to college and I studied and I didn't miss the class, and guess what? I got an A. The person you are today doesn't have to be the person you are in 6 months. Change is very possible. One thing that helped me be more happy is moving from a place of logic instead of emotions. Don't make rash decisions when you're upset or sad. Give yourself time to settle and really think about something. When Rosa Parks stood up on the bus, do you think there wasn't somebody whispering, she done really lost her mind this time. What is she doing? Somebody probably yelled, Rosa, please sit your behind down so we can get home and I can catch the game and get my wife food before I get cold. Stand on business this year. Be a man or woman of your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. You said you was going to start saving money and stop buying so much fast food and clothes. Stand on it. You said you was going to finally take the time to read that book. Stand on it. You said you was going to leave those toxic people alone, but you haven't. Stand on it. Guys, you don't have to reinvent the wheel to be great. Sometimes you could just paint it, throw some glitter on it. I know sometimes our ego makes us believe we got to come up with something completely different, but you really don't. Why work harder when you can work smarter? Everything that glitter ain't gold. I've been on the other side of the pendulum in a miserable relationship, but we were posting pics for the gram, couple pictures together, chocolate, all the stuff he bought me, the perfume, the flowers, but I was not happy. And do not be jealous. Don't harbor jealousy, because the energy you put out is what you're going to get back. Send out love and light. The difference between being alone and lonely. You got to learn how to have fun in your own energy, being by yourself. If you don't like being with yourself, how do you expect somebody else to be in your energy to stand you? Don't let being an introvert stop you from living your dreams. Here stands the shyest woman to ever roam the earth. But I love seeing people win. I love hearing the turnaround stories. I love when people be like, I'm finally losing weight. I'm finally getting sober. You guys really inspire. Story about a horse who was chained up for years. Finally, the owner decided to let him go. But the horse was so used to being chained up that when he was freed, he still stood by the pole. Every saint has a past. There's at least one person I can think of that probably won't deal with me right now. They'll never get to see the new and improved me. You are allowed to change. Don't let a person put you in a box. Sometimes people get mad when you say, this box isn't for me anymore. I'm guilty of it. I miss the old Kanye, but don't real Kanye fans want him to be happy and find peace? Do not let your mind trick you into believing that the familiar is what's best for you. And sometimes there's no one keeping us in that box. Sometimes it's just us keeping ourselves in that box. Don't get mad. If somebody didn't support you, get glad, because now can't nobody throw nothing in your face. They can't say what they did for you. You don't owe nobody nothing. If you really got it on your own, can't nobody break something that you built. And a lot of times people feel like when they help you in life, that gives them the right to start delegating. If you're having a bad day, don't lean into it, because leaning into it is the worst thing you could do. That's like if you're bleeding and you decide, I'm gonna just sit here and watch this blood drip instead of trying to get a paper towel and put some pressure on. And you just fed up with life. You got to do things to bring that inspiration back. You got to do things to get motivated, because if you don't do it, no one else is. No one coming to save you. No one can make you feel better but you. Out here with one arm, reaching for their greatness. Stop making up excuses. So when you see people on top, don't ask, why them and why not me, God? Why universe? Why am I cursed? No. Because those people were willing to make sacrifice. Have a one-on-one with yourself. Back in the day when teachers would tell the student, come here, let me talk to you real quick. What do I need to do to get better results from you? Do I need to move your group? Don't get mad that you don't see the results that your heart desire, because you've been putting in bare minimum. You haven't been consistently going above and beyond. Hey, don't worry if you let a few fish slip through your hands, because guess what? You are going for the big fish this year. Not only will you leave other people in amazement, but you're going to leave yourself in awe. Hey, I got to go because I got some big fish to fry right now. They're going to say, you frying fish? What? Let them think what they want to think, because really it's none of their business unless they're part of the plan. Stop waiting for the perfect time. It may never come. I think a big problem. I don't want to pursue that passion or do this until the kids get a little bit older and move out. So you're telling me you're going to wait 18 years to pursue your passion? Some of the best lawyers have lost cases. Some of the best athletes have off seasons, but they don't give up. They learn from those mistakes and they persevere and they become better. Everyone makes mistakes. And if you're around someone who is hypercritical of you, every little mistake that you make and not giving you any pointers or tips to improve, you should get far away from that person. Do not beat yourself up if you made a mistake. Even some of the undefeated boxers that we know now to be great, they have got their butt kicked at one point in time. They didn't just come out the womb taking perfect jabs and having the perfect footwork. Hope and pray whenever I say something is a fact that somebody corrects me if it's not. I know that they say ignorance is bliss, but I would rather be upset in the knowing than ignorant and living blissfully. A man once said, if a person doesn't value your time, they don't respect you. A lot of people don't value their own time or have self-respect. So it's up to you to set those firm boundaries to make sure they're not wasting your time. You're going to have to take a selfish season in order to get the things you want out of life. You are going to have to stop jumping up every time you get a phone call or text. Do not feel bad for taking a selfish season if you've always been that person to be the sacrificial lamb of your family, always there helping people to the detriment of yourself. You versus you. You should only be looking to self-improve, never to become a carbon copy of anyone else. How delusional are you willing to be to meet your goals, to make your dreams come true? When no one else believes in you, are you still willing to believe in yourself? When the blueprint doesn't work, you can't be in alignment with being the best version of you if you're not thinking things through. Congratulations if you are the first in your family to do anything better than the last generation did. Do you know how hard it is to get away from conditioning? Many times you want to forget the pain that you have endured, but that pain is proof of how resilient you are, how strong you are. That pain can either make you or break you. That same pain can make you become a victim or lead you straight to your victory. Everything is cause and effect. You are where you are today due to the choices you have made. You don't want to set intentions that are too high or unachievable, because that is the first thing that's going to discourage you from even trying. If someone doesn't like you, you got to stop trying to convince them to see you in a different light, because sometimes people have this false version of you that exists in their head. And no matter what you do, that version will always exist. Stop complaining. Start taking action. Complaining is not going to alleviate your situation, and it's not going to make you feel any better. People will be at their job and everybody will be complaining in the break room about how horrible their job is, how much they hate it. So when are you going to leave? And that's when you really have to take accountability, because who applied for the job? You. Who stayed at the job even though they seen how horrible it was? You. Life is short. I hope that you are trying to conjure as much joy as possible today. I hope that you aren't waiting to say your apologies or I love you. She was such a sweet lady. She was always so kind and hardworking. She said, yeah, everybody said that about her. What will people say about you? Many people get a lot of wake-up calls, whether it's about their health or their love life or them nearly dying, getting shot. And then they start cherishing life. But sadly, some of those people only cherish it momentarily, and they tend to revert back to their habits. Don't let that be you. I told my son this morning, I said, don't be afraid to ask for help today. He turns around and he says, that's for girls. What? Men need help too. When I say help, I don't just mean money. I mean guidance, being able to be receptive to knowledge that will help you, that can enhance your life. I mean connections. Better late than never. If you haven't been showing up for yourself the way that you would like, it's not too late. Just because people around you then gave up and they've accepted their reality, that's what it's going to be, that doesn't have to be your reality. You can change. Whenever it rains, it always humbles me and makes me feel grateful, because you see all the homeless people that are in the rain, struggling to stay warm, struggling to not get wet. And it's just like, wow, we do have a lot that we like to complain about. But really, if you're not in the rain today, you are truly blessed. I want you to remember to respond, not react today. I know sometimes reacting feels good. It can make you have this false sense of power. But how are you truly powerful if you allow another human being to take you out of your character?